to the Compliance Kitchen. Today we will take a look at a recent report that was issued by the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF, or maybe you also know them as the Groupe d'Action Financière, which is their French name. So they issued their Japan Mutual Evaluation Report for 2021. Just a quick background on FATF. This is an intergovernmental organization. They develop policies to combat money laundering, and they also added or expanded their mandate to include terrorism financing back in 2001. So going back to the Japan report, FATF tells us that the authorities in Japan have a good understanding of money laundering and terrorist financing risks that the country faces, and they have been at the forefront of various measures in these areas. Japan is delivering good results in the collection and use of financial intelligence to investigate and prosecute money laundering and terrorist financing. It also demonstrated constructive cooperation with other countries in this regard. The terrorist financing risk in Japan is fairly low, but the law enforcement needs to focus more on the laundering of proceeds in complex, large-scale cases that often involve fraud and drug-related crimes, including addressing key risk areas such as those associated with organized crime groups in the country, or the Boryokudan. Now, authorities also need to increase efforts in the confiscation of criminal proceeds. The report also tells us that Japanese authorities proactively conduct outreach to businesses about proliferation financing risks. However, the country needs to ensure effective implementation of measures that prevent the unwitting facilitation of sanctions evasion. Japan has taken robust action to address risks linked to virtual assets and their service providers, and now needs to fully implement the measures to prevent their abuse. And finally, the report tells us that Japanese authorities also need to prioritize efforts to improve the requirements for financial and non-financial institutions to prevent laundering of money and financing of terrorism, including customer due diligence, and improve access to beneficial ownership information. So again, as usual, this is a summary. Trying to keep this brief for you guys, but if you want to take a look at the full report, I do have a link to that on compliancekitchen.com, and also a link to take you to the Financial Action Task Force website if you want to learn more about them.